Hey Libra, this is your general tarot reading for Libra, Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of June. Libra, let's do as we always do. We're going to shuffle the cards and we're going to wait on all the right ones to come out for you, my love. And in the meantime, let's talk about the energies that you may feel throughout the month. So, we're leaving behind May, still feeling the effect of that big Scorpio full moon. Yes, as the first card hops out. And look what it is, the Lovers. Very true, the Scorpio full moon effect, where some of you might have had some really great passionate moments last month with somebody. You were feeling very close and very loved, and it kind of came to a real culmination point, a real point where you said, okay, I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to get more into this. I'm going to commit, even in some way, to somebody. So love and the passion and the union with other people were very, very strong. I mean, this can mean a few things, but for you, Libra, there was a pressure and an intensity to form a strong bond with somebody. And I think you did it. I think you did very, very well, so this card suggests. But it's also to do with money, the sharing, the give and take of things. And there may have been some questions about that, you know, trying to figure out how much you owe somebody or how much they owe you. There could have been some disagreement or argument over money. You know, hey, look, I ordered this on Amazon. It's not here. Where is it? You know, kind of thing. I paid for this shit. Now, aren't you supposed to deliver it to me? So it could have been a few things like that. But it seems that you got it resolved. But as we go into the month, the energy is still there of wanting things to be clear. You want a clear understanding between you and another person. Definitely encourage more of that this month. But you also want to be very super clear about your money. That thing again of who owns what? I paid for this, now what do you pay for? So it's all going to work out well. I kind of feel that because, I don't know, I just get the vibe it's going to be fine. But the Sun in Gemini and Mercury in Gemini as we enter the month in the 9th house, that's a lot to do with seeing things from a higher perspective. And I think that's part of why I feel it's going to work out. It's because you're not getting so stuck in to, maybe last month it was kind of a focus on other people's motivations. Why did they not give me back that money? Or why did they ask for that? Or why? Are they trying to take something from me? Do they want more than I'm willing to give? But this month you're saying, no, chill, relax. I'm going to see the bigger picture in all of this. I'm going to get more grounded and kind of zoom right out so I can get a better handle on a situation. This is like you, Libra, who represents the scales of justice, becoming like the higher courts, the upper courts, and saying, present all evidence, I am totally impartial, now tell me what happened, tell me who you are, tell me why you're not giving me back that money, tell me blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot of kind of taking that higher stance of saying, I want the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and I will not cast my judgment until I understand everything. So it's a nice energy. Now, the 9th house is also where we study. Yeah, Moon and Libra card coming out here. Maybe some of you are really considering, maybe a bit undecided still about whether you should put a few coins into doing a course or a study or going to university, or taking some extra time out to really absorb yourself in something where you can learn more. You know, can I put those few coins away to do that weekend course where I'm going to learn a bunch of stuff? So there's a lot of that going on, but it's also to do with travel. So your mind is very much on seeing the bigger picture, but also seeing the wider world. I want to see more. I want to book a vacation. I want to go somewhere where there's another culture, where I can forget where I am here right now and just escape a little bit into the fantasy of another culture, eating different food, seeing different things, going to museums, going to art galleries, going just where you feel that you can feed your mind and soul and also your sense of spirituality. So if you are in a city, for example, and you decide to go for a little wander around the city, you might find yourself stopping off and going into places of worship, you know, going into churches, synagogues or whatever, and just lighting a candle or just taking a few minutes there. And not even necessarily to pray, because I know not all of you are very religious, but just to feel an atmosphere of something bigger than you, something more than you can understand type of thing. That's why I'm saying maybe spiritual places, religious places for some of you. Anyway, so what has Gemini season got in store for you? A fellow air sign. I'm sure there's a lot going on. Well, new life maybe for some of you. We left behind Taurus season feeling that 8th house energy, all about life and birth and rebirth. And this is the card of new birth. So maybe for some of you there is good news this month where you might have to welcome a child or at least travel to go to visit a new child, maybe within your family or a friend or so on like that. So it's a nice energy, very, very nice. And Gemini season is all about broadening your mind, welcoming in more people into the fold, getting a bigger sense of perspective. You know, I once thought it was only me, that I was on my own, but I look around and there's more people around. Maybe more people around you that could support you too. So that's very, very nice. Now, as we go into the month, Mars is already in Cancer. Mars gets very emotional in Cancer and he can throw a few tantrums, and he can also get quite moved and motivated by a moving experience, essentially. He can get very enthusiastic about standing up for the underdog, about being triggered by somebody's emotional reaction and going in, kind of jumping into a situation purely based on emotions. So at least you're somewhat protected from that this month, Libra, because you're doing your very best, at least, to kind of separate and kind of peel yourself away maybe from some toxic situation or from something that has really annoyed you, in order not to be triggered into fighting with somebody. So that could be a thing. But he's in there in your 10th house. And what he is probably saying to you, you know, it's time now, Libra, the North Node of Destiny, is it the destiny that needs to be played out, essentially, is in your house of career, of standing out in the public, of being seen as somebody who knows what they're doing, but doing it in a responsible way. You've accumulated enough wisdom to now be a somebody, sharing something of value, but now also adding that Cancerian vibe to it, which is something deep and emotional. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're strongly thinking, Libra, this month of getting in to either study a line of work or start a line of work that involves the emotions. It might involve family, it might involve mediation, family mediation, anywhere where there's maybe somebody has been hurt or wounded or triggered or disadvantaged or kind of removed, and if they're feeling a bit lonely in some case, kind of like that there was a disservice done to them. You could suddenly find yourself very motivated to get working on being the champion of the underdog there. So some of you could be, as I said, thinking about how to change up your career so that you're not just doing something that you respect, but you're doing something that other people can connect to, that they also respect what you're doing, but not on any intellectual level, more on a kind of you're doing the right thing level. Yeah, stand up and do the right thing. That's a lot of energy going here this month. Stand up and do the right thing. Not what is intellectually correct, but from this higher moral place and connected to your emotions, you suddenly connect to what is actually right in a situation. And you're going to stand up and, defend somebody, defend a friend or somebody in work or your family. Defend them because you've deemed that it's the right thing to do. So that's quite strong there. But yeah, definitely putting a lot of energy into your work, and it pays off because you are going to get the success that's promised after that. Now, June 4th, Mercury is then moving into Cancer. So June 21st then, on the solstice, the Sun is moving into Cancer. Again in this position of standing out. Maybe even this month could be a time of publicly announcing something, Libra. Getting out there and maybe doing public speaking or going onto social media and announcing something, announcing some new breakthrough thing that you want to do for your work. Or there could be a moment of success in the workplace where it's announced that you maybe are in line for a promotion, or that, you know, at some point soon you're going to be moving up a gear. So there's a moment where it's like, I've just received news maybe that I'm in the running for something big to happen. Yeah, so that could be for some of you. Now, June 9th, Venus, your ruler, goes into Gemini, into the 9th house. Venus enjoyed being in Taurus in the 8th house, where it was a lot about fun, passion, pleasure, intimacy, sexuality. A lot to do with understanding how to get through some of your money issues too, having more power and control in many parts of your life. And I think you enjoyed that. But now in June 9th, Venus going into Gemini is saying, you know, I'm going to get more fun if I, again, this thing of stand back and take the bigger picture, expand my horizons. So are some of you really thinking of pushing your name, pushing your resume, pushing something to do with your career, and you're doing it because you feel it's somehow the next big expansion, it's the next big thing to do, but also with a sense of, not only is it the next big thing for me to do, it also feels like exactly the right thing for me to do. Doing something that I can be proud of, but that I'm also very deeply emotionally connected to. So there's a good vibe. It's the kind of energy I'm feeling. It's like the precursor to success. It's that moment where you're getting yourself into a prime position to do great. So it's like on the starting block. You know, you're waiting there and you're waiting for the, on your marks, get set. And this month it's like, go. But we're going on my terms. On my terms. Now, just going back to the legal thing here. I know, Libra, you're very often interested in things of the law courts, even if it's only watching Judge Judy on TV. It's something you're kind of interested in anyway. But this could be a month where issues around the courts and justice and fairness, legalities, they might really fascinate you. In fact, you might be going back to study something like that. You know, if you're starting a business, you're saying, maybe I should study the laws around this. Maybe if I'm opening a store or do whatever it is, or trying to push ahead in my career, I should understand at least what the rules are here. What are the legalities? You know, how do I push ahead? What is the framework? What is the legal framework for something? So maybe that means something to some of you. I know it can't mean everything to all of you. But travel is everything. And for some of you, for the singles particularly, there could be love. Maybe going on a love adventure. If you've met somebody recently, it could be about going on that first vacation together, or going somewhere just way outside of your comfort zone together for the very first time. Ah, that's nice. But also taking a vacation is on your mind. Yeah, going further afield. That's really interesting. It's this thing, going outside, going beyond, going further afield. Maybe even wanting to move abroad for some of you. It's like, I want to get out. There's a bigger life out there for me, and I'm ready for it. That's what I'm feeling very strongly too here. It was almost like you felt that there was some sort of glass ceiling on your life, and you felt, I'm never going to get past this. In fact, I don't even think about it anymore, because I just know that above that is not for me. But this month it seems to be, well, let me examine that a bit further. I think I can go above and beyond. I think I can push myself up to a higher place. I think I can take on the responsibility, the extra responsibility to do some maybe extra study or extra work that's going to elevate me. I think I can do it. So there's a confidence here, Libra, that I really like. Now, June 17th, full moon in Sagittarius. Okay, so this is where there may be some opinions being shared here. It could be that you're out there selling. If your work involves selling or trade or getting out there, life on the road, that could be a very, very busy moment for you. But it could also be a time where you might need to watch your words. It might be that you might want to challenge somebody, challenge a key figure. Maybe it's you saying, I want to rise up here. I've studied all the legalities. Now it's time to get up and position myself up beside somebody who might have been way above me before. It's time to show them that I can stand shoulder and shoulder beside the competition or beside... So it's like I'm standing up and I'm not one bit afraid to go up a gear here. It's a good feeling. It seems to be something you need to do, but just be extra careful with your words that you don't argue yourself into a corner. It's better to do this kind of slowly and steadily rather than try to burst into a situation and try to assert dominance somewhere. Most likely in your work, it could also be in your family situation. But just go slowly because you don't want to clash with people who could otherwise have been great allies for you. It's like, don't set yourself up immediately to be rubbing them up the wrong way. You know, you'll get more if you take care of what you're saying. And I don't mean pour honey on people. It's more like, just be smart, Libra. I don't have to tell you that. Just don't get so pushed and triggered around the time of the full moon that you bite back or you go in with something and you end up saying, oh my God, I've just messed that up. I've ruined whatever chance that I've had of going up a gear in my career in particular. So just, and particularly if you're doing an interview or something, don't be overconfident. Don't come across as, I know it all, because there's a danger, Libra, here with the energies that are going on right now. You've left a month that was all about feeling very empowered, feeling like I'm back in the game, I'm feeling ruthless and I'm feeling ready to go. And now in the 9th house, an exaggeration of that could be that you feel like super confident, super knowing it all. And if you push that too far around the full moon, you could find yourself with a bit of egg on your face, you know. So that's why I'm just saying that, because I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to get the best out of this energy and for you to win, Libra. Always, always, always. June 21st, also the day of the solstice, Neptune is retrograding in Pisces in your 6th house. Libra, there might be a real moment where you have to stop and say, am I taking on way too much? If I am taking on these responsibilities, extra responsibilities this month, maybe extra children or something like that coming into the family, there's a lot of extra stuff happening in my life right now. I've got to get more organized. I've got to get more streamlined. I've got to manage this, and I've not got to work under that illusion of it'll be fine. You know, like winging it, turning up and assuming, oh, I'll figure it out. And you're intelligent, Libra. There's no doubt that you can just arrive, and on the minimal amount of information, you can wing your way through things. But this is not a month for that, because you might be laboring under a fake illusion if you think you can wing your way through something without putting some framework on it. So this seems to be a month where you're pushing towards something. And to get there, you can't always trust that, oh, it'll be all right on the night, I'll know how to do it. This is where you have to get very serious about your time management, about your organization, and about not being caught out because you're underprepared, essentially. So you've got to be very practical, and you're being given a moment here of seeing how you can win by being more practical, and maybe how you've been self-sabotaging yourself all along by not being more organized, by not being more practical. And you're probably saying, I am very organized. My wardrobe is all lined up, all lovely, looking nice. My shoes are all kind of in a beautiful row there. It's all looking great. I don't mean that. I mean, you might be very organized in your home, but you're now being asked to be organized outside of the home, work, the responsibilities out there. There are other people in the mix now that you don't have the same control over. You can't just put them in a nice row like your lovely shoes at home. They have things that you can't predict. So it's down to you to be organised, to deal with those chaotic, messy bitches outside, you know. So it'll pay off if you do that. So it's a good energy, as another card comes up. Yeah, and I'm going to touch on this too. Saturn and Pluto, this is kind of a very home, my home is my castle kind of card. And a lot of you might find that there'll be some weird moments at home, especially those who are trying to buy or rent a home or try to make some exchange, try to do something different within the home, decorate it. There'll be a few weird moments, particularly if you've got somebody in, like a decorator or somebody like that. Don't fight with them. Just kind of speak what you need and don't kind of rub them up the wrong way. But there'll be it'll be a bit on and off the good vibe in home this month, but you'll get there. Just, it's that thing of don't lose your shit and don't kind of paint yourself into a corner. That's what I keep feeling, you know. Don't paint yourself into a corner here. Anyway, so Libra, that's kind of the general energy there, and we've only 6 cards, so let me choose a few more here. This is a strange month for me to tune into the energies because I think it's a lot to do with eclipses in next month and Neptune retrograding this month along with all the other retrogrades. It's the kind of feeling of, you know, not really knowing how to handle situations, not really knowing what's going on. Thinking all of a sudden at some point this month, I was so sure that would have gone this way. And then being totally confused about why it didn't work out the way you thought it would. Does that mean it's going to work out badly? No. It's just more of a, well, look, there we go. That's how that worked out. I have no idea how that played out. I had nothing to do with it, but there it is. You know, it's a bit like that. Very unusual, and everybody's feeling it. Sorry, this came out earlier on. Then that. Then the Venus card, your ruler. There, and one more, Libra. Yeah, it seems like this month for everybody, it's very difficult to focus. But nonetheless, just because it's difficult to focus doesn't mean that good things aren't happening. And it's that thing of whether we're focused on it or not, things are going to happen anyway. So if we can kind of work with that and stay as practical as we can in this energy, then we should be fine. Anyway, Libra, let's go over to the ta-da, the big grand overview. So we begin with the Lovers and the card beside it of Moon and Libra being undecided. Some of you, you know, could have recently met somebody and now you're saying, wow, May was a total passion storm. It was total connection. It was total obsession. And now I'm kind of wondering, well, where do we go from here? Maybe that's the first part of the confusion happening for you. Kind of trying to think. Is this a practical relationship to get into? I feel very strongly about this person. There's a lot of high passion and a lot of love. So what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And I think the lesson here again for everybody, and particularly for you now, is stop thinking about it. It's going to unfold in a natural way. You just decide what you want to do and see how it kind of plays out a bit. Don't overthink that this month if that applies to you. Now for everybody else, sometimes this card represents a puzzle, something that has to be figured out. It could be anything from a legal issue to a work issue, money, particularly money. It's like it was a mystery. It was so difficult to resolve, so difficult to find how to make this work out right. And I'm still, as we enter the month, undecided. Yeah, undecided about some great big decision. Maybe even for some of you, you might be saying, I'm not sure I want to be in this relationship anymore. And that's where this energy is so freaky. I mean, try reading it for 12 signs. It's like a circus. The love is there, but you're doubting it. Maybe even a business connection. It's all there, but you're doubting it. A puzzle has already been solved, but there you are, doubting it. So if you want to do yourself a favor this month, Libra, just try to stay as practical as you can and try to stay in touch with how you really feel about whatever situation this is. And don't get swept away by all these nebulous kind of questions, things, uncertainties, vague feelings of, you know, why shouldn't I be going along with this? Shouldn't I be just enjoying this? The fact that something is already solved, something has already happened, it's done, it's organized. Why am I still worried about it? Yeah, that's just the energy of this month. People having such strange fears and worries, even though everything seems to be working out perfectly. So it's not just you, my love, it's not. But I did say earlier on that maybe last month, or maybe even this month again, you've Uranus and Taurus in the 8th house, where there could be surprise news of the birth of a child. And that definitely is something worth celebrating. And if that's you, Libra, big congratulations. But if that's not you, it's about the surprise birth of passion, maybe for that lover that you're kind of melting your mind with, saying, what do I do? What do I do? You just love. That's what you do. Don't let those crazy thoughts or the confusions of the Neptune retrograde get in there. Follow the passion, a new business, a new venture, a new push and drive into your career. Being lit up and fired up by foreign cultures, foreign people, maybe even foreign lovers for some of you. But it's being lit up by study, lit up by seeing a whole new perspective on your life. This makes you very, very, very happy. So something is changing for you. There's a big passion and almost some gift coming into your life this month, Libra, that gives you huge enthusiasm. That it's just a real happy feeling where something has ended. That's what I'm getting. Something has ended, something has concluded. Something, it has been presented, it's done. You can wash your hands of it. There's no more figuring out needed. It's there. So don't allow this enthusiasm and this passion to be blinded by this fogginess of Neptune retrograding, that you don't see all the good in what's just happened. Excuse me. That you don't see that this was a bit of a dream come true thing that happened for you. The opportunities that are coming this month are a bit dream come true. So do your very best not to be distracted from enjoying these moments by worrying about unnecessary shit. That's essentially it. And not even worrying, it's more like having your mind like a hamster wheel, thinking, and not stopping long enough to see the wood for the trees. So it's very strange energy for everyone, Libra. But sacrifices are needed. Maybe I think this is to do with either a family issue or a home issue. Maybe some of you feel now it's time to really sacrifice something. Maybe if there's a new child coming, you know, we have to sacrifice a bit of space to make room for this new life that's come in. We have to create a new room for this new child or something like that. But it's a lot also to do with having to sacrifice some part of your lifestyle in order for you to expand. So it could be like, I could stay living here, but it would be better for me, for my career or for where I want to go next, to move. If I want to get into this top position, get into this big lifestyle, I have to start making sacrifices here in order for me to get there. So that's also on your mind, making sacrifices to get there. Sacrificing something important to you to get there. But here's the Knight slowly and steadily working towards security and foundation and an announcement. Again, Venus in Aries style card, announcement of something. It could be, as I said, the announcement of a child this month, the announcement of weddings, marriages, they're the same thing, I know, unions, renewal of vows. So there is a big declaration. You're declaring, I'm open for business, I'm starting a new career, I'm starting something. It's almost like you opening two big doors and pushing it out and saying, here I am, bitches. I'm here. Surprise. But I've worked slowly and steadily to get here. And I am this month seeing the beginning of that come into a feeling that I've staked my claim. I've put my 2 feet on the ground here. It's that feeling too, Libra, of, like I've arrived. I've arrived, pushing the doors open to somewhere and saying, this is where I've wanted to be. This is the position I've wanted to be at in work. This is the home I want to have. This is the type of family that I want to have. These are the connections, business, otherwise friends, lovers. It's like a feeling of, now this feels good. I want more of this. That first foot on a position in your life that makes you feel like, well, there's no going back now. And that feels good. So it's very positive. But again, the independence card, the card of feeling strong and confident in yourself, in what you bring to the world, what you bring to the table, beside Venus, money, confidence, security, feeling like I'm in a position now where I can do something meaningful. I'm in a position now where I can get things moving. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if it's a new business or a new venture, a new project, new job. Or even working from home. I am studying also. I am making my mark on this world and I'm feeling it happen. And that gives me so much more confidence. And it's the feeling of, I love this feeling. I love where I am. I love that moment this month where I see progress is being made somewhere. This is a very happy card. And, excuse me, this is quite a maternal card beside new life. Now, it may not be you. I'm not saying it's necessarily you. But there is great contentment around hearing news of a new child. So that's very good for you. It puts you into a positive place. And towards the end of the month, the balance is coming back. And good luck and good fortune. Now, Mercury on June 27th is going into the 11th house where we do get rewards, where we are applauded, where we achieve a level of fame. So by the time this month is out, it's like you saying, I've taken an inch, now I'm going a mile. Give me an inch and I'll take a mile. It's like I've had the taste of success, a little taste of honey, and I want more. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to make that happen. And I'm going to get myself organized. Hopefully that's you. I'm going to get myself organized so that I can get my money together to do something more that I love. And this in turn seems to be part of your positive karma. Now, karma is playing out in your 4th house of how you personally feel about things. It means family, where you're living, your privacy, your own inner world, but also your personal reaction to this world. Not just logical, not just, oh, this is morally correct or ethically correct, society dictates this. It's more like, how do I feel about this? And what seems to be a real positive moment for you this month is that you're like feeling good in yourself, feeling like you've released some karma, some past self-doubt. Worry about your family, worry about your home, worrying about where do you live, worrying about having a sense of peace and privacy and inner contentment. It's like that moment this month where you say, I don't worry about that anymore as much as I used to. And now I have even more reason to feel steady and secure, not to have to worry about that so much anymore. I've got love on my mind. Even for those of you in a relationship, I've got love on my mind, and maybe if I listen to She Bear, I won't let my mind go rattling like a penny in a kind of can, Instead, just calm your mind and just focus on the things that you need to focus on. Get super organized. And it's almost, there's so much positivity in your cards. And I like that, because with Jupiter retrograding in Pisces in the 6th house, this could be a moment too where there's a kind of revelation of people who may have been working behind the scenes to sabotage what you do, but they didn't show up in the cards. So there's a kind of feeling of you being so confident this month that you're not bothered by other people who might have tried to throw a spanner in the works or tried to drag you down unhealthy or toxic pathways. You're not bothered by them anymore. Maybe because some of you have decided, if they bother me one more time, I'm going to take the legal route. Kind of could have gotten as serious as that for some of you. But more than that, why I like the energy coming up from the cards is that you're realizing that maybe some of the big sabotage that was going on in your life was coming from yourself. And maybe some of the toxic people or situations that you had allowed in. And what makes me very, very happy, Libra, is that you seem to have done a huge amount of work in getting rid of them already. Because it's almost like karma fulfilled. You're the A student because you've done what you were supposed to do. Oh, that made me a bit emotional. Why did that make me emotional? I got a real strong feeling of you at the end of the month being rewarded in some very personal way. Personal. I don't just mean a bouquet of flowers. This is a personal connection where you get that real feeling of, I am proud of myself. I have come so far and I did what I was asked to do. I stood up for myself. I stood up for my life. I stood up to meet my responsibilities, and it matters to me. And I did good. I pushed and I did good. I did the right thing. That's what I keep hearing. I did the right thing. And what's making me emotional, Libra, is that sometimes when spirit comes through, it doesn't happen very, very often. It comes through my heart chakra. All I'm getting is this feeling of every time I hear you saying, I did the right thing. It was the right thing. There's a wave of heart energy coming through saying, and that's why we're rewarding you. You did what you were asked. That's such a strong feeling. A feeling of, well done, you did everything that you were asked and you got it right. Because you stood up for what you believed in. And you're now beginning to get the life that you want. Oh, that's very strong, Libra. It's just a strong feeling, and I wonder by the end of the month it's that strong. I wonder, will you be feeling that? Will you be feeling, say from around the 27th, around there, feeling strong connections with spirit source, heart source, creator source, whatever you choose to call that, feeling proud, very proud of yourself, and also feeling, it's like feeling that heart energy. A lot of heart energy here right now, Libra. Very nice. You've a lot to be proud of, apparently. I'm proud of you. I'm always proud of you. So keep that up. Whatever you're doing, keep doing the right thing. The right thing that's coming from your heart. And you'll be rewarded. So I'll leave it at that, Libra. Okay, as you know anyway, you know that these are the general landscapes, the energetic, emotional, connective landscapes. To get into the real nitty-gritty, to do with love, to do with relationships, for the singles, we'll focus on single energy, go right into it. Family, friends, money, career, anything else that we didn't get right into in the general read, we'll open all of that up and get stuck right in, Libra, in the deep read, the VIMEO reading. Come along and we'll see the details of what's happening for you this month. But there is definitely something big by the end of the month. I feel it in my heart for you. There is a real happiness, well, it's like congratulations, well done. that kind of feeling. So whatever that is, congratulations and well done. Libra, as I said, link down there below, the deep read Vimeo readings. I'm going to leave it at that, my beauty. Enjoy the month. And as always, I'll leave you with all my love and a great big kiss from me to you. Mwah. Until next month, my beauty.